What's going on, guys? It's Marlon Conaway, aka Marlon the Money Coach, your licensed financial consultant and realtor. Man, we're really excited, man. Today we're closing out 2020, going into 2021, and we want to hit you guys with a message. I guess we'll call this one the 2020 closeout home buyer session today to get everybody geared up and excited about 2021, man. We've been excited, man. Even though 2020 has been a tumultuous year, we've been excited to and happy to assist a lot of our followers in helping them achieve home ownership or get in position. We got a lot of people right now that's in position with the main 4 criteria that lenders look for to approve you for a home loan. That all they got to do now is just decide where they want to live. I mean, they've worked on their credit, got money saved, all those different things. So we're really excited to be a resource and to help those individuals. Okay, now if we haven't heard from you in a while, man, we gotta get that communication working, and we try to do our best to reach out as much as possible without overreaching. Okay, but to let you know that we're here as a resource and can assist you with all the questions involved with your personal financial needs, your home buying needs, to get you in position, and also be your realtor to walk you through the process. No matter what type of property you're looking at purchasing, whether it's investment property, whether it's commercial, whether it's even leasing, we can help you get a home for rent temporarily, because we don't want to be long-term renters, man. It's a lot of money you waste, and you never build equity, no ownership. Okay, you can't pass it down to your children. All right, but we can assist, with anything that's listed on the MLS. We have access to rental properties that individual homeowners, if they decide to put their property under contract with a realtor, to show off their homes, to advertise their homes for rent, then we have access to those. Now, things that are offered through property management, okay, they do their own deal, right? Like the JWs, rentals, or the JW property management companies out there, your Gold property management companies out there in your city, those major players, they run their own deal, right? Lease with an option to buy. Those people run their own deal. Those are normally property management companies or real estate investors. They do their own deal. So we won't have access to those, but we'll have access to rental properties that a homeowner say, well, hey, I want to put my home up for rent. Can you show my property? Can you advertise my property on the MLS? Those are the homes that are available to realtors. So we don't have access to every rental property because some people are personal homeowners that are renting their own, doing their own deal, like just like some people for sale by owner or rent by owner. Okay, those are the ones you just have to drive up and down the street and see the rental sign in the yard with the black marker. That's their private homeowner that's renting out their own property. So I won't have access to those per se as far as searching through the MLS. But we can help with rentals. We help with new construction, right? When you're driving down the street, you see that new community popping up in that area, coming soon, or starting from the mid to low 200,000s. We help with those. Okay, so a lot of times people may drive by, they talk to the real estate person on site in that office, and those realtors are sellers agents. They represent the home builder, right? The DR Hortons, the Lennar Builders, the KB Homes. Okay, you want to have a buyer representation, somebody who can go in there and talk, negotiate for you, help guide you through the process, and so forth. So anytime you're buying a house, the thing that's very important is you don't have to worry about paying a real estate commission when you're purchasing a home. The seller of the home, whether it's an independent seller or a new construction development, the people who are selling the homes are the ones who pay real estate commission. They're the ones who pay their selling agent, and they also pay your buyer's agent. All right. So if I'm representing you, my check comes from the home seller. All right. So in essence, you're going to get free coaching and free service when it comes to helping you through the entire home buying process. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions, because a lot of people say, well, man, how much I have to pay you because I only have a certain amount of dollars saved and I want to use all that towards the purchase of my home. You're going to spend more trying to do it on your own, right? You're going to get less negotiation trying to do it on your own. Why? Because most home buyers don't really know the questions to ask. All right. I mean, right. So we're there to help coach you through the process the entire way and to help make that transition go as smooth as possible. Today, I want to really get into the main 4 things right now. If you're seriously looking to be a homeowner within the next 90 days, the next 30 days, the next 6 months, okay, then these are the 4 or 5 criteria that you really want to pay attention to, all right, and that you really want to start working on. And making sure that you really buckle down. I mean, buying a house is a sacrifice, okay? You can't live the way you normally live, okay? So if you like to hang out a lot and go out to eat and all those different things and travel whenever you want to travel, it's going to be a period of time, maybe a 3-month window, 6-month window, 12-month window, where you're going to have to kind of calm down on all that for a little while just to get ready, okay? And but it's going to be worth it, all right? It's going to be worth it, not only to yourself, to your family, to your legacy long term. It's going to be worth that small window of sacrifice to own a home. So basically, the first thing we're going to talk about real quick is, and we're going to try to make this video very, very short, because we know most people's attention spans are very short, okay? But getting ready for home ownership, the first thing, and these are not in any particular order, all right? But we're just going to talk off the cuff. But credit history is very important. Most people put too much emphasis on credit. They think credit is the only thing you need to buy a house, okay? It's not. It's like one of 4 or 5 things you need to buy a house, okay? So it's one of the things, okay? So somebody says, well, hey, I'm holding off until I get my credit straight. But are you also working on the other 3 or 4 things while you're getting your credit straight? All right, so I'm going to give you all those things you need to work on, but credit is one. So credit right now, the climate changes. When the pandemic hit, a lot of lenders start buckling down and changing their criteria. They start raising the requirements, etc. But right now, credit history, I would say on a low end, 580 is where you want to be. And when we're talking 580, Credit Karma and all these different credit apps, they have their own different algorithm when it looks at credit, all right? And that's why sometimes you may have a 700 with maybe a Credit Karma, and then you go get your apply for a loan application, and the loan officer tell you your credit score is a 640, and then you get upset. Mortgage companies, lenders have a whole different algorithm, and I guess that's the right word, but a whole different system of how they judge credit versus a Credit Karma. They have a whole different system of how they look at credit than credit card companies do, and auto loan companies, okay? And so it's a totally different thing. But as consumers, we only have access to stuff like the Credit Karmas, right? The little apps that we download, that's the only indicator we have, which is good, okay? So you want to have something. You don't want to go into a situation not knowing anything. Hey, I don't know what my credit score is. I haven't checked it in 10 years, okay? Well, you may want to download something like a Credit Karma or a Credit Sesame or something like that just to kind of get an idea. But keep in mind, when they pull your credit, it's not going to be that, right? Okay, all right, okay? Because they use a whole different system. But in the mortgage system, 580 right now is like the minimum entry level, okay, credit score that you can have to purchase. You're going to need a down payment, usually 3.5%. When you go that low, you won't be able to qualify for down payment assistance programs, etc. With a 580. But I have some people that tell me, Marlon, I'm just ready, man. I got to get out of this apartment. I got to get out. I want to buy a house. I got, I don't have a 640 or whatever, but I got enough to get a house and I got money saved. I'm just ready to go ahead and get it done. Okay, great. If that's you, let's start the process. Let's get in communication with one of our preferred lenders to see where you at. All right. And if they deem you're ready to go and they say, well, hey, you're going to need this for down payment and closing costs and you got the money, well, great, let's go. Okay. Now, if you're saying, hey, I want to qualify for down payment assistance or maybe closing cost assistance, then you probably want to be more so in the 640 category. With a lot of lenders I deal with, 640 is the sweet spot for, especially for first-time home buyers for down payment assistance programs. Okay, and we got preferred lenders right now that have $10,000 for down payment assistance. We got some that use multiple grants for down payment assistance. I have a lender right now that has a $10,000 grant and a $7,500 grant. You can use one for down payment, one for closing costs. Okay, that's $17,500 for down payment assistance. So if somebody says, well, hey, they're procrastinating or lazy about working on their credit score to get 17,000. I mean, how long would you have to personally save to get 17,000 saved? Right. All right. And so if somebody's going to be able to help you with that to purchase a home, we got to get to work. Okay. There's no point in procrastinating. Now, here's the deal. That particular lender I'm talking about is that those grants are not just for first-time home buyers. Anybody can have access to those. All right. You could have a home right now that you're trying to upgrade to another home. Maybe you're going to sell your existing home. You can use those grants. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a first-time home buyer. And a first-time home buyer is defined as somebody who has not owned real property in the last 3 years. All right. That's a first-time home buyer. All right. So if you had a house 10 years ago, but you've been renting for the last 9-10 years, then you would be considered first-time home buyer again. But if you're not a first-time home buyer, we still have companies that can help with those grants. Okay. But 640 is the sweet spot for that. Now, when new construction, the new home builders, Usually around 625, okay, is the minimum credit score to get closing cost assistance. So new home development sometimes will help with closing costs. You have to use their preferred lenders, right? Okay, to get that perk per se. But that's one of the things that we talk about and negotiate when we're talking with new construction home builders. Okay, so 625 is there usually around their minimum credit score to help with all your closing costs. Okay, so you have to have your down payment, but they'll cover your closing costs, which is great. Which sometimes could be anywhere from 7 to 10, 12,000. Okay, and so that's credit history. That's why it's very, very important. Let's talk about second thing, work history. You want to make sure you have a 2-year plus or more window of work history in the same industry. Okay, if you had a gap in employment, it's going to, I don't want to say you're not going to be approved. Okay, because I'm not a lender. Okay, I'm not the person that judges whether or not you qualify for the loan. I'm the realtor. I'm the person that helps you find a home once you're approved for the loan. Okay. But usually work history is about 2+ years or more that they want to see consistent work in the same industry, the same job. Okay. And so you want to make sure you double check your situation and say, hey, how long have I been working in my job? Also, too, with that 2-year history situation, any second income that you want to use to help qualify. So you may say, well, hey, I've been at the post office for 30 years, but also have this part-time job at Amazon. Okay. But to use that income from that part-time job, it has to at least be 2 years you've been employed there. All right. And so the higher income you can show, of course, the more house that you can qualify for. All right. Let's talk about assets as the third thing. Right. You want to have liquid assets. All right. And sometimes people may say, well, what if I get down payment and closing cost assistance? I may not have money saved, but won't they pay that? I heard there's no money down. You still want to have money saved. The lenders are looking for responsible, credit-worthy people that have shown the ability to budget their money and save, right? Pay their bills on time and save, okay? So you want to have assets in place, okay? Savings account, all right, which is very, very liquid. You can go to your bank, pull those savings out, get a cashier's check. Your 401k is not as liquid, okay, but it is money saved, all right? People have taken loans against their 401k to pay for things like down payment and closing costs for their homes. If you have an IRA, a lot of people use their IRA money, particularly Roth IRAs. All right, they can pull that out for a home purchase without any penalties. Right? Okay. Equities or stocks. Some of y'all invest in the stock market, Bitcoin, different things like that. You can cash that in to liquidate some cash for your closing costs and down payment for your home. Okay. Gift money. Gift money is if grandma has some money for you that she says, hey, Junior, I'm going to give you $5,000 to help you buy your house. Now, it's called gift for a reason. It can't be a loan, right? And so one of the rules of gift money is they have to write a letter saying it's a gift and they do not expect repayment, okay? They may also have to show their bank statement where that money came from, all right? So it can't be funny money that just fell out the heavens, out of the sky to help you purchase a home. It has to be traceable and it has to be deemed as a gift and not a loan. Those are assets, okay? And so you want to be, as you're working on your credit, you want to be working on saving at the same time, okay? Because there are also going to be some things. Let's just say you did qualify for down payment assistance and closing cost assistance, and lenders say, "Man, we got you covered. We're going to give you $17,000 to go towards your purchase of your home, right?" And you're thinking, "Man, I don't have to have no money." You still got to have money, right? Why? Because when you find a home and you want to put that contract on a home, and you say, "This is the one I want. I found it. Man, I love this house." You got to put a bonded deposit down. All right. And in most cases, a bonded deposit could be 1,000, it could be 1,500, 2,000 for a higher end home. It could be as low as 500, for something that's a lower end home. Okay, but on average, maybe 1,000 is going to show that you're a serious buyer. Okay, because that we have to take that check and put it with the title company or the law firm that's representing that seller to take that home off the market. All right. And so if a person's going to take their home off the market for you, they want to make sure you're serious. So you got to put a deposit down. Okay. That deposit doesn't go to the seller. It goes towards your closing costs and down payment at the end of the deal. Okay. But that's $1,000 in cash you need to have. Okay. Then you got to get a home. You got to get a home inspection. That range somewhere between $500, $600, $700, depending on who you pick and how big the home is. Okay. And how much detail that inspection goes in. But that's cash you need to have. So that has nothing to do with your down payment and closing cost system. That's cash you need to already have to be able to take care of paying that fee to that home inspection company to looking at your house. Then you got to get an appraisal, right? Appraisals can range anywhere from $500 to $700, depending on the size of the home, right? That has to be done. The lender's going to require that to make sure that house is worth what they're trying to sell it for. Okay, they don't want you upside down in the home. All right, and so that needs to be paid up front in cash. All right, so now we're talking almost, we looked at $1,000 for a deposit, let's say $600 for an inspection, 600 for an appraisal. We're not $2,200 in cash you can have outside of the down payment and closing costs just to start the process. Okay, we got to get homeowners insurance. All right, well, guess what? We got to put a deposit down on that. Okay, so you probably need to have anywhere from, I would say, 3,000 to 5,000 in cash just for the getting started process. Okay, and even if you qualify for down payment and closing costs, 3,000 to 5,000, you want to make sure you have that in place to cover your deposits and so forth. Okay, now I believe you should have more. All right, because I would hate to get into a deal and we got to back out of that deal just because the lender say, well, hey, total cash out to close this deal for down payment and closing costs is $15,000. We got a grant for you for $7,000. So you need to bring $8,000 to the closing, right? And all you got is $4,000. 4, 8, right? How we gonna work this? Okay, and so we don't want to have to, a lot of deals fall through because people are not prepared all the way. So we want to make sure we do our due diligence, and assets is very, very important. Another asset people don't think about is life insurance. I've had people buy commercial properties and use their life insurance policy on a collateral assignment as a security deposit to the deal they were purchasing, right? The property they were going to buy. Okay, and so you want to have all your financials in order, have your savings going, your life insurance going, your credit in order, your debt to income ratio, which we're going to talk about next, in order. So it's a total financial deal. Okay, and so that's why one of the things as being a financial consultant was very, very important to me as a realtor, because I can help my clients. I can help you with all these different areas to help with the preparation process. This is not, I'm going to just work on this on my own. You can do that, but it's just going to drag the time out, right? And so we can come up with a great plan, a financial game plan to help you in the process, okay? So we can make sure that that biggest asset you're ever going to purchase in your life happens, okay? Last thing real quick is debt to income ratio. And you can calculate that by taking your minimum required payments on all your debts, all right? So let's say you got a Visa card. The minimum required is $15 every month. You got a car payment is $350 every month. You got a student loan. The minimum payment is $200 every month. Okay, you add all those things up and you divide that by your gross income. That's your before tax income. That gives you your debt to income ratio. All right, now it varies depending on the type of loan. Okay, conventional loans, FHA, VA loans, USDA, the debt to income ratio maximum varies. All right, sometimes they go as high as 50%. All right. But I'll probably tell you want to be at least in I would say just rule of thumb, maybe in the mid 40s or less, 40%, 43% or less. Okay. But that's a lender call. That's not a real estate agent's call. I'm just kind of based on my experience, just kind of giving you my opinion on where you want to fall. So if you're like 60 or 70%, you got too much debt. We got to now work on a game plan to pay some of those debts off, or we got to raise your income. All right. And find a higher paying job or a second job. And now we start that second job, that part-time job. We know we got to wait 2 years out to be able to use it. Okay. So those are two ways we can fix that. Either reduce the debt down, okay, or raise your income up. All right. And so those are the main 4 criteria: credit history, work history, assets, okay, and debt to income ratio needs to be in alignment for home purchase. Okay. And so paperwork, let's talk paperwork real quick before we close out. Documents that you will need. So a lot of you guys are gearing up for 2021. You're saying, man, this is going to be my year. I'm ready to do it, right? First quarter, we're going to go out there and buy us a house, okay? Well, you want to make sure you got your documentation in place. So always think in twos, all right? Think in twos. You need 2 of these things each, okay? Recent pay stub, right? You want to have at least 2 of them. Sometimes they may ask for 3, depending on the lender, okay? You want to have 2 bank statements, 2 months bank statements, okay? So if you're going to buy a house in January, you may need December, November. Now, sometimes they may ask for October, okay? But you want to have those statements available, all right? W-2s, the last 2 years, okay, of W-2s. Let me take a sip real quick. You're going to have your W-2s in place. Your last 2 years, okay? And then you got to have 2 years plus of job history, all right? Recent pay stubs, bank statements, W-2s, tax returns, 2 years job history, okay? And so you want to already be prepared. You don't want the lender waiting around weeks for you to get your paperwork in place, okay? So before we go through the process, right, I'm giving you the checklist, right? You need to be saying, hey, do I have this in place? Check, 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 okay? This is not a video of entertainment. It's a video of preparation, okay? And so we want to make sure that you have everything in order, guys, moving forward to put your dream, make your dream a reality, all right? And so, guys, just make sure you reach out to us if you have any questions. If you're getting this video right now, you have at some point during the year spoken to me about home ownership, message me either through social media or text, or maybe somebody gave you my phone number. You either came to one of my financial webinars where we talk financial literacy. You came to something. That's how we connected, all right? I didn't just pull your number out the sky, all right? But you came to something, okay? So as we close out, guys, I just want to kind of share with you some of the different areas we work with all of our clients, right? I'm pretty much licensed in every aspect other than lending, okay? I tried to get licensed, but they told me it was a conflict of interest being a realtor or a mortgage guy, and I had to pick one. So I said realtor, right? Okay, I want to make sure I do that, right? But anyway, some of the service we offer through Legacy Builder, guys, outside of home ownership, we do life insurance and mortgage protection. When you close your home, every life insurance agent in town is going to be trying to save you some life insurance. But I totally believe you need life insurance before you even buy a house. You want to have all your finances in order, okay? No point in buying a house. Somebody died too soon. We can't afford the house no more. Now we got to sell it, all right? So have at least enough life insurance to pay off the house. We also do auto and homeowners insurance. Before you go to closing, got to have a homeowner's policy in place, okay? So we either help you acquire or we help you save money. Some of you guys have auto insurance right now. We can run some comparison quotes to help you save money there. We also in the health insurance industry, we do legal insurance. You may want to attorneys. A lot of times I have people say, well, man, I need somebody to look over these documents to make sure it's legit, right? Legal insurance is what you need. You have access to an attorney 24/7. They'll look over your documents for free, okay? Debt elimination. So we're talking about debt to income ratio, getting out of debt. That's part of our service. We also deal with retirement plans, things like IRAs, annuities, 401ks. I'm a licensed investment advisor in that aspect to help you understand how those things work and to build wealth for your future, right? We know homes appreciate in value, but a lot of wealth comes from the market, the stock market, right? Okay. And I've seen people that have $1 million retirement plans that live in a $200,000 house, right? So go figure, okay? So we got to make sure that's part of your plan we got in place. College savings, dental vision insurance, and also a licensed realtor. And so let me give you an aspect of some of the companies that I'm appointed with, that I'm aligned with, okay? So I'm just not out here operating on my own, okay? As a broker, I have access to a lot of different major nationwide national brand financial services powerhouses, okay? So this is some of the names on the list. I'm pretty sure you guys recognize some of these names here. I'm just gonna kind of scroll slow. And so these are different, this is the resources, okay? Answer Financial right there, that's where we do our home and auto insurance, some of the health companies that we represent. And then I'm also licensed with Florida Homes Realty and Mortgage is where my license is in place for the home ownership aspect. So guys, we really, really, really appreciate you guys following us throughout the year. In 2020, we're gonna step our game up and provide more educational platforms. And also too, for those that are open to home buyer seminars, we got a home buyer seminar this Saturday. I'm not hosting it, but one of my preferred lenders is hosting that one. And so you can hit me back and I'll get you information on how to log into that. It's virtual, all right, through Zoom, just like we're here today. But man, that's it, guys, man. Reach out to us, Marlon Conaway, AKA Marlon the Money Coach. The number is on the screen, flat out. Got the number. And let's make the next 90 days count, guys, all right? Procrastination is one of the biggest dream killers in existence known to man. Procrastination, putting things off for tomorrow, but we should be working on today, okay? And so if home ownership is very important, we want to make sure that we start that action plan ASAP, okay? Renting is not the way to go unless you're going to be a landlord, okay? But just imagine, the average rent right now in a decent home in Jacksonville, I mean, you talking 13, 14, 1,500 bucks. So if I'm paying 18,000 a year and I've been renting for I'm going to be renting for the next 10 years, or the last 10 years you've been renting, that's 180,000 that you put into somebody else's property. You probably paid their house off, right? That's 90,000 if you've only been doing it for 5 years. That is a ton of money. That needs to be going towards your legacy. So guys, let's make sure we make it happen. We appreciate you, and we look forward to hearing from you.